The lights on the military outpost dimmed as the artificial night cycle began. On board Arkhaven 12, a deep space peacekeeping station orbiting the fractured planet of Tevala, soldiers from dozens of species shared quarters, schedules, and occasionally misunderstandings. Private Cale Rowe, a human infantryman, had just returned from a grueling 20-hour patrol along the outer perimeter. His muscles ached, his armor smelled like scorched metal and sulfur, and all he wanted was a shower and maybe 5 hours of uninterrupted sleep. The automatic door to his quarters hissed open. He stepped inside without looking. Then he froze. Someone was already there. She stood in the middle of the room, looking equally startled. Tall and commanding, her lavender-hued skin glowed softly under the overhead light. Her long silver hair was tied in warrior braids that clinked slightly with decorative bone clasps. Her gold-flecked eyes widened when she saw him. "You are not Commander Drellick," she said slowly, her voice deep and melodic with a slight trill. Cale blinked. "Definitely not. I appear to be in the wrong quarters." They both stared at each other. Neither moved. Cale scratched the back of his neck. "Yeah, this is room 7B. Commander Drellick is in 7D. The alien woman looked mortified. "I must have mistyped the room code." "That happens," Cale said awkwardly. "Doors don't lock until after curfew. It's not your fault." She hesitated, her shoulders tight beneath the ceremonial chest wrap of her species. "Then I shall go." But she didn't. He watched her as she lingered near the door control panel, hands hovering above it but never activating it. "You okay?" Cale asked. "You seem tense." "I do not know how to say it in your language," she muttered, then looked down at her feet. "The corridors are louder than I anticipated." Cale tilted his head. "You have noise sensitivity." She nodded, cheeks darkening to a richer violet hue. "My species, the Zalari, evolved on quiet moon temples. Too much sound. It can be overwhelming." The barracks hallway. I was caught between a shouting match between a Drati male and an Andran engineer. The frequencies caused me pain. Cale whistled low. That would hurt anyone's ears. I escaped into what I thought was Commander Drellick's room. He paused. "I should go." He took a step forward. "You can stay a bit if you want." She turned sharply to him. "Why would a human allow me to remain in his personal space?" Cale shrugged. "Because you look like you need a break, and I'm not a monster." For a moment, neither of them spoke. Then, to his surprise, she walked further into the room and took a seat, rigid and upright, on the edge of the spare bunk across from his. "I am Valessa," she said. "Combat medic for the Zalari Honor Guard." Cale sat down on his bunk. Cale Rowe, Human Infantry Division. Also known as the guy who just got yelled at for punching a diplomat in the mouth. Her eyes sparkled with surprise. "Why would you punch a diplomat?" "He called one of our wounded Tevalan kids a waste of medical supplies. So I wasted a little blood from his nose instead." Valessa chuckled softly, a strange melodic sound. "Then I approve of your conduct." He smiled. "You laugh better than you apologize." She raised an eyebrow. "Apologize? For breaking into my room?" "I did not break anything," she said indignantly. "You broke my evening silence." "Then I regret nothing," she said defiantly. Cale laughed. And in that moment something shifted. Middle. Valessa didn't leave. Not immediately, not after a minute, not even after an hour. Cale offered her a hydration pack and pulled up a screen to stream one of his old Earth films. She sat beside him, wary at first, then slowly more relaxed as the music and visuals of the black and white romance played on. What are they doing? She asked halfway through, as the human actors embraced under pouring rain. Kissing, Kale explained. Her brow furrowed. We do not do that with our mouths. Humans are weird like that, he said. She gave him a sidelong glance. Do you enjoy it? Kale nearly choked on his protein bar. Yeah. I mean, it depends who it's with. Valessa was quiet after that. But she didn't move away. Eventually, Kale offered her a pillow from the spare bunk. You can rest here tonight if you want. No pressure. She hesitated. Would that be acceptable? We're allies, Kale said with a smirk. You're not sleeping in my bed. You're sleeping in a bed. That's diplomacy. Her lips twitched. Then, for the sake of interstellar cooperation, I accept. That night, she slept soundly for the first time since arriving at Arkhaven 12. Over the next few days, something like a pattern formed. Valessa stopped knocking. Kale started leaving the door unlocked. She'd show up during meal hours or after her field rounds. She brought exotic fruit paste and Zalari medicinal tea. And Kale taught her how to scramble eggs in a shared pan. They argued about food, about Earth's music, about whether war was ever just. One night, after another training session ended with Kale's arm in a sling and Valessa fussing over his bruised ribs, he finally asked the question that had been haunting him. Why do you keep coming back here? Valessa was quiet, her hands resting on his side as she adjusted a cooling patch. Because this room feels like a shelter, a silence I can breathe in. She leaned closer. And because when I'm here, I'm not the medic, or the Zalari noble's daughter. I'm just Valessa. And you never flinch when I speak. Kale looked at her then. Really looked. He could see how others might miss the beauty in her. Her sharp cheek ridges, her predator-like irises, her slightly jagged canines. But he also saw how her eyes softened when she laughed. How she curled her fingers slightly when she was unsure. How her voice lowered when she said his name. You're always welcome here, he said softly. Valessa's pupils dilated. She touched his jaw. Then tell me something only humans say. He grinned. You're beautiful. She froze. Absolutely froze. Not in the way prey freezes. But in the way someone hearing a foreign language for the first time doesn't quite believe the translation. What did you say? She whispered. Kale repeated it. You're beautiful. Her hand dropped from his face. No one has ever called me that. Well, they were wrong. Valessa stood up suddenly. For a moment, Kale thought she was going to flee. But then she turned back, stepped closer and leaned down. Then maybe I should stay longer. Her mouth pressed to his, tentatively, awkwardly, but undeniably, ending. In the days that followed, their strange, quiet companionship became an open secret. Kale's commanding officer noticed he smiled more. Valessa's comrades joked about how she'd defected to human nesting rituals. But no one mocked them seriously. War was hard. Peace was harder. And what they found in each other, a flicker of comfort in an uncertain galaxy, was worth guarding. One day, their deployment orders arrived. Kale was due to rotate back to Earth within the month. Valessa was being assigned to a Zalari deep space diplomatic envoy. Kale didn't say anything for 2 days. But Valessa did. Your world is far from mine, she said as they sat together, watching another old Earth film on his bed. Do you think your kind would accept someone like me?